99.1, 99.5
FM.
Kaieteur Radio. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast of the next day at 11 a.m. just in case you miss that program.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening. Welcome to this evening's newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. Let's get to the news in detail. The intention of Trinidadian firm Vista Trading and Logistics to establish a storage and distribution facility for oil well cement at Tract A2 Felicity and Lure Souvenir is not being well received by residents on the east coast of Demerara. Specifically, residents of Felicity, Happy Acres, Lure Souvenir, and Atlantic Gardens are of the firm belief that the project poses serious health risks given the hazardous chemical composition of oil well cement. They have since objected to the EPA's decision to exempt the project from being subjected to an environmental impact assessment. Meanwhile, Sian Dujon, attorney for the appellants, the residents, stated that the residents remain unaware of the screening tool used by the EPA to assess the project despite several requests for the same. Dujon also noted that the developer and its affiliates have been dishonest as they claimed Vista is a subsidiary of Tulsi Prasad Limited, a reputable Guyanese firm. In other news, during the opening of tenders yesterday at NP-TAB, 4 construction firms bid to execute rehabilitation works to the existing roof at the Chedi Jagan International Airport. The procuring entity is the Ministry of Public Works. According to the engineer's estimate, this project is pegged at some $23.2 million. The expansion of the CJIA, which has been going on for years, was signed in 2011 under then-President Bharat Jagdeo and was passed through the truncated presidency of Donald Ramotar. Now, as the country awaits the completion of the project, Minister of Public Works Juan Edgel recently stated that the cost will not exceed $200 million. And moving on, a 40-year-old businesswoman and a 21-year-old housewife who were conversing outside of their undernaming West Bank Demerara apartment were abducted, duct-taped, tied up and relieved of cash and valuables by 3 armed bandits. According to the police report, the two live in separate apartments in the same building. At 18 hours on Wednesday, while they were chatting, police said 3 armed suspects held them up at gunpoint. The women then were forced into the businesswoman's apartment and bounded with zip ties while duct tape was placed on their mouths. The gunmen removed $900,000 in cash, a quantity of gold jewelry, and 2 blue top-up cell phones valued at $7,500 each from the businesswoman's bedroom. They then went over to the housewife's apartment and removed a pair of gold earrings, an Amazon tablet, a hand purse containing 2 silver bands, a pair of earrings, and $20,000 cash before escaping on foot. And moving on, Guyana's recoverable oil resources increased to over 10 billion oil equivalent barrels, with the newest Cataback 1 well discovery, according to the Ministry of Natural Resources, which in a public statement yesterday noted this new recoverable resource estimate includes discoveries made in Guyana through early September 2021. As such, Guyana is now the country with the 3rd highest oil reserves in the Latin America and Caribbean region. According to the ministry, this newest discovery has increased the Stabroek resource estimate to over 10 billion barrels of oil equivalent and further enhanced the development potentials of Guyana's offshore blocks. And now let's tell you, 4 armed gunmen on Wednesday robbed a 27-year-old technician of his vehicle, a quantity of cash, and a cell phone when he stopped in Tocqueville Terrace, East La Penitence, Georgetown, to urinate. According to a police report, the robbery occurred at 10 hours 50. Police stated that the technician was driving through Tocqueville Terrace when he stopped to urinate, leaving the driver's side door open and ignition on. The gunman reportedly rode up on two motorcycles from an eastern direction. Police further stated that one of the pillion riders, dismounted, pulled a handgun from his waist and held the technician at gunpoint. After demanding cash and valuables, the armed pillion rider went into the technician's white and black Toyota field wagon with license plate PWW 9299, which contained an iPhone X, one Lenovo laptop, and $17,000 in cash, and drove away. The other suspects followed suit and escaped in an eastern direction on Tocqueville Terrace. And moving on, two Berbice cattle ranchers were beaten and robbed of their haversacks and other items while on duty at Gurman Gate, Quarantine Berbice, yesterday. It is understood that the two men, ages 32 and 44, were in a guard hut while at work when they were confronted by the two suspects. During the confrontation, the suspects dealt them several lashes about their bodies and relieved them of the following items: a haversack valued $7,000, a second haversack valued $2,000, one torchlight valued $700, and one food bowl valued $500. The men were also relieved of their two bicycles, the value of which is unknown. In other news, a 27-year-old businessman has confessed to staging the theft of his car just to collect insurance benefits. The man had lodged a report with police claiming that he had lost his car after parking it with the engine left on in front of a bar so that he could collect some Chinese food. He had claimed that incident took place at Alexander Street in Kaieteur, Georgetown, around 21 hours on Wednesday. His false report led detectives to send out a release stating that the businessman's white SUV Volkswagen was stolen in front of Seapal Sports Bar. The man even misled detectives to believe that his stolen SUV contained various important legal documents, including land transport, insurance certificate, a revenue license, and $500,000 cash. And on that note, we come to an end with this evening's newscast. Coming up next, a short presentation as usual from Glenn Lal, publisher of the Kaieteur News, followed by the National Outlook with GHK Lal, and at 19 hours 20, the Glenn Lal Show. Tell it as it is.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
I am Glenn Lal, and I have some beautiful things to share with you guys.